I have been in and out of homelessness for the past, I would say, 3, 4 years. And initially, it was by me making a decision to leave my job because of issues that I had on my job that caused me to be very stressed. And so I traveled out west. I was living in Mississippi at the time. I traveled out west. Um, and I found myself, running out of money, not really being able to find a place that I could afford, get on my feet. And that's when I initially entered into homelessness after just not accumulating the money that I needed to get back on my feet. Um, I think that my experience has been overall just minimum wage and the wages according to the skills that I had at the time wouldn't allow me to um, be independent. It was always just living paycheck to paycheck, just not making enough to be able to become self-sufficient. And I realized that the wages in many cities across the country that I've attempted to live in don't pay a living wage, one that takes into consideration, housing, food, everyday basic needs for a single person, let alone a person with a family.
Tell me why you think, you know, this is such an important issue and why people should care about it.
I think it's an important issue for several reasons. I wish I could go into details, but I think mainly people aren't aware that homelessness, the history of homelessness in this country, particularly just a few generations ago, homelessness has taken a radical change in what we perceive as homeless people. A lot of people have this perception of the homeless people being lazy and not wanting to work and choosing to be homeless. And although that might have been somewhat true in the past, I think that the reality is now that a good number of people that are homeless do work, have some sort of income and do work, and that more and more what you see, especially in major cities, large cities, is rent skyrocketing and the wages not keeping up with the cost of living, which is forcing people into homelessness. And and even what we consider to be homelessness today, we don't take into account people that are doubling up, tripling up in homes, people living out of their cars. There's a lot of people that actually go to school full time and live out of their cars because they can't afford to rent an apartment. So I think just, if people would realize what is going on in the country that is making so many people homeless, especially now during a time of like an economic crisis where we're going to see so many more people wind up into homelessness, then we can really address the root causes, which is not being addressed. A lot of the services that are being offered to the homeless are band-aid solutions that just have people revolving in and out of homelessness constantly because the root cause is never addressed. I think that the simplest way to address homelessness is one simple way is to really just match up people's incomes with housing. Make it affordable, make it within their means. That's it.
Thank you.
We run an after-school program here during the school year, and then over the summertime we run a full-service summer camp, so to speak. And it's really interesting because as much as the kids love what we do, because we really do put every effort into the recreation department and we try to provide activities so that the kids are enjoying themselves as they're here, it's just so many emotions that go along with it. Like, these kids are living in a shelter. These kids don't have any place per se to call their own. Some of the kids woke up one morning or even were awoken in the evening and were told to pack their things. They had to go and weren't told where they were until they ended up at, the drop-off shelter. And then it's just been kind of this ongoing thing since then. So what happens a lot of the times, we get kids who are in pieces. They have left friends behind, they've left schools behind, some of them have even left family members behind, some of them even parents if they're here on domestic violence. You know, if there's a spouse who's abusive to another spouse, 9 times out of 10 it's the other parent of the child. And the child will be there one day and the next day they're gone. So although it's always best to get a child out of a situation of that sort, it still is very difficult for a child to have a parent and then all of a sudden that parent to be gone, and more than likely without any explanation. Some of them show up with just the clothes on their backs. Sometimes, most times they don't have any food. And it's a process. You know, if you've raised a child and they're used to the type of foods that they like and snacks that they like and blankets and pillows that they like, and then all of a sudden having to just take whatever is available, it's very rough on kids. And that's for some of the younger kids. Some of the older kids, because we take kids from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. And we have high schools that are in the general vicinity during the holiday season. Sometimes people do donations, and sometimes the kids don't even want to come and participate in the program. They're afraid that their friends may see them. You know, we talk about that often. We talk a lot about the kids' feelings because the kids' feelings are very, very important to us. And, you know, sometimes the kids will come in happy halfway through the program. You know, they look like they're about to be in tears, and we ask them why, and they're stressed out, you know, like adults. They're stressed, you know. I don't want my friends to know that I'm here, you know. I don't want the girl that I like or the boy that I like to find out that this is where I live. You know, I don't want my mom to be upset with me when I don't want to help clean up the room that we both have to sleep in together because I just don't want to be here. You know, and these are the different things that we have to deal with, and we have to keep smiles on our faces and hope in our heart and encourage the kids daily. And sometimes it's a task, but it's what we have to do, and we love what we have to do. We just hate the fact that we even have to do it. So I'm just very grateful. Just for an opportunity just to share, you know, what it's like, because a lot of the times people come and they see different events and things that we do, or they see me on the opposite side of it and they think it's just a job, and it's a lot more than a job. It really is a lifestyle for all of the people that we serve here. And so I think it's just really great that you made a decision to do this and really to help people in the areas of being desensitized, because, you know, it's more than just that. And I hate to use that term, quote unquote, bum on the street that you pass over, you know, or the person who's begging for change, you know, next to you. You know, 9 times out of 10, when you're on your way to work, there's 2 or 3 people sitting on the bus on their way to work, same as you, and don't have a place to live, you know. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I really hope that this does help to change some hearts and encourage people to do more with the blessings and the gifts that they've been given in their own lives, and really to be grateful for everything that they have, because the reality is that most of us are living just a paycheck away from being in the same situation. So thank you again.
Thank you. I started this movement called Homeless for 1 week, where I go homeless for a whole week. I take time off from work for that week. I wouldn't come back home. I'll be sleeping in Union Square Park, and my goal for doing that is so that I could raise awareness and money for a different non-profit organization every year. This year I'm doing the food bank for New York City.